7:05. Good evening, everybody. It's 7:05, so we're going to begin. We're going to start with the second item on the agenda, which is 19 Rocky Nook Ave. Can someone read that and open the hearing?
Sure.
Elaine, you have to open the meeting first.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to make a motion to open the meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Thanks, Paul. And Paul is on the
Hi,
phone.
Paul Dolan.
All right, can someone read?
Number 2?
Yeah.
Yeah. Public hearing will be held at Town Hall, 26 Evergreen Street, room 200, on Wednesday, March 4th, but actually the 16th, at 2026 at 7:05. Applicant Charles Bellinger, 19 Rocky Nook Ave, map 41, lot 108, seeks a special permit to raise and rebuild a single-family pre-existing non-conforming dwelling. Proposed plan does not meet 4.2A.4A and 10.7 compliance by Kingston bylaws.
Just need a motion to open the hearing.
I'd like to make a motion to open the hearing on that.
Get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, thank you.
Just to correct that, the applicant's actually Ed Tumulionis. It's not, I think you have the incorrect applicant on the, or owner on that
Okay.
notice. I'm Paul Seberg from Grady Consulting. We are here for the special permit request for 19 Rocky Nook Avenue. This site is located in the R20 zoning district, assesses parcel 49-108, and consists of 5,000 square feet. The site currently contains an existing single-family dwelling with a detached garage and paved driveway. Kingston Bay is located opposite of Rocky Nook Avenue. The lot is non-conforming with respect to lot area, 5,000 square feet existing, 20,000 square feet required. The existing structure is non-conforming with respect to front and side setbacks and building coverage. The applicant is seeking a special permit to raise the existing dwelling and construct a new single-family dwelling. Proposed home will improve the non-conforming front setback, balance the non-conforming side setbacks by centering the house in the lot, and bringing the building coverage into compliance with the bylaw. The project has been approved by the Conservation Commission already. I'm happy to answer any questions the board may have.
I'm going to start with you, Doug.
I'll start with, do you have sewer for the bedrooms you're proposing?
What's that?
Do you have sewer?
Yes, we have sewer. There's 3 bedrooms existing, 3 bedrooms proposed, so no change.
And parking?
Parking, we have 3 parking spaces on the left side and 2 on the right side, so there's plenty of parking in accordance with the bylaw.
That's all I have right now.
Kevin?
Is this the exact same footprint that was there before?
Very close, almost. It's a little slightly different. You can see the existing footprints on the left side and proposed is on the right. So more rectangular shape, but same width and a little bit further back on the lot.
You said on the right side? Is the yellow's the existing?
This is existing.
I'm sorry, on the left side is existing, the right side is proposed. The darker hatched areas.
11.4.
New one more in the center of the lot.
Yeah. And it's 3 bedrooms, correct?
Correct.
So you have 3 parking spaces?
5.
Yep.
Well, there's 3, I see 3 cars on the plan.
Right, there's, required spaces, I believe it's 2 spaces, but we have 3 spaces on the right side, and then we have another parking spots on the left-hand side, so there'll be 2 more on the left-hand side, so there's 5 total.
Okay, that's all I have.
Bob?
No questions.
Marcia?
I don't have any questions.
David?
I don't have any questions.
I don't have any questions either. Is there anybody from the public that has any comments? Anybody online? Oh, I'm sorry, Paul, you're on there. Paul, do you have any questions?
I have no questions.
Okay, sorry about that. Anybody from Zoom?
You have a hand up. You did.
No questions, so I'm gonna see if someone can make a motion to close the hearing.
Make a motion to close Rocky Nook Ave hearing, 19 Rocky Nook Ave. I make a motion to close it.
Anybody second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 I also make a
Hold on.
I also make a motion to accept the applicant for 19 Rocky Nook Ave.
And do we have a second?
Second.
And who's, I'm sorry, so Paul, you're voting, right?
I don't need to vote if you guys want to bring in a fifth person.
One of you?
I was not planning on voting because Paul is present.
Okay. David? Okay. Where were we? I'm sorry. So we have a motion to approve the petition for, did someone second that?
Yes.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right,
Thank you. Have a good night.
thank you. All right, the next item on our agenda that we're going to go to is the 4 Drew Ave application. Can someone read that?
A public hearing will be held at the Town Hall, 26 Evergreen Street, room 200, on Wednesday, March 18th, 2026, at 7:10 PM. Applicant Thomas Foley, 4 Drew Ave, map 38, lot 129, seeks a special permit to extend or legally alter a pre-existing non-conforming structure and add an addition, a deck, entry porch, and alter the second story. Proposed plan does not meet 4.2A, .4A, and 10.7, compliance with the Kingston bylaws.
Make a motion.
I make a motion to open the hearing
Do we have a
for
second?
4 Drew Ave.
Sorry.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And who's voting on this one? Paul, are you going to be voting on this?
No, I don't need to. You guys can do it.
Okay. Do you want to vote? Okay. Did we vote on that? I'm sorry. All in favor?
Aye.
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 And I'm not planning on voting.
All right, thank you. All right.
Good evening. My name is Gavin Driscoll, Lighthouse Architecture and Design. This is a renovation of an existing single-family home. It's on Drew Ave. The existing footprint of the building is not changing. We are looking to get a variance for 2 violations for the rear and the right side. Both violations are about 2 foot short on the right side, the back right, and the rear. We are, like I said, not large in the footprint. It's about 111 square feet we are enlarging the building by. And really, all we're looking to do is just square off the rear of the property. And if there's any questions, I can take them.
You just said you're looking for a variance, but a special permit.
Special permit,
Okay,
I'm
all right.
sorry.
And it's going from 2-bedroom to 3?
Correct, yes.
And 2-bath, you're doing a 2-bath?
Correct, yes,
So you're adding a bedroom and a bath?
correct.
And do you have sewer for that?
We do, yes.
Okay. I'm gonna go reverse now. David, do you have any questions? Marcia?
Are you seeking a variance or a special?
Special permit, that was my mistake, special permit. Yeah,
Bob?
Just confirm we have enough parking, 3?
yes. There's existing 2 on the left side and then 1 on the right,
Okay.
yes.
So what, as far as parking, I see an existing one-car driveway.
On the
Where's
site
the
plan,
other?
there's a driveway on the right of the building, there's a 1
I see,
spot.
okay.
And then there's 2 spots on the left side
The
of the
two-car
house.
okay.
Close to the corner, correct.
Kevin?
So is this a total renovation,
Yes.
not a tear down?
Not a tear down, no.
Okay. No, you have enough parking spaces and you're on town storage. I'd like to just hear from the public if anybody got any comments on it.
Doug, do you have anything?
I do not.
And Paul, do you have any questions?
I have no comment. There's nothing to find me.
Okay. Anybody from the public here to speak on this?
The owner did get a list of support letters from most of the neighbors around the,
Okay, this is a part of the filing, right?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, okay, and approve the plans presented. So there's a list of, these are abutters? Yeah, a lot.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Nobody from the public online? All right, can I get a motion to close the hearing?
Second?
Someone has to make it.
Oh, I propose to close the hearing at 4 Drew Ave.
You're making a motion to close the
Motion to
hearing?
close the hearing, 4 Drew Ave.
Thank you. Any second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I also propose to accept the proposal for 4 Drew Ave in Kingston.
So you're making a motion to,
Accept it.
okay. Any second? All in favor? Aye. All right,
Thank you so much.
you're all set. All right, so we're going to circle back to the first item on the agenda, which is Cushman Farms. Can someone read that? We don't need a motion to open the hearing because it's already been opened.
Public hearing will be held at Town Hall, 26 Evergreen Street, room 200, and Zoom on Wednesday, November 1st, 2023, at 7:05 to hear the petition of Cushman Farms LLC, 33 Cushman Drive, Kingston, Mass., to request a comprehensive permit under Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 408, to allow construction of 3 apartment buildings proposed to build 162 units of rental housing. The project on approximately 11 acres of land located off of Marion Drive and Cushman Drive, also known as the site, in Kingston, with an associated community building, access road parking, stream crossing utilities, stormwater features on assorted parcels along Thomas Street, including off Pleasant Street and Pleasant Street map 66, lot 29, 32, 33, 35, 37, 38, 40, 41, 42, and 47, in map 75, lots 5 and 7. Mass Housing ID number 1159. Plot plan by Conseco Engineers and Scientists, Bridgewater, Mass., drawn by surveyor Thomas S. Boda. Excuse me if I pronounced that wrong. PLS dated September 28th, 2023. Comprehensive permit plans by Conoco Engineering and Scientists. Plans drawn by engineer Damian J. Dimitrick. PE dated October 2nd, 2023.
All right, thank you. So just to be clear, we have in front of us a comprehensive permit plan dated, it's revised February 25th, 2026. We have a list of requested waivers that's dated February 26th.
Correct.
And then another, I guess this is the landscaping plan?
Two-sheet landscaping plan?
Okay, and that's dated February 23rd, the revised.
Correct.
Okay, was there anything else that you guys provided?
At this time, I believe that was all we provided.
Okay.
There was in the previous submission a photometric plan that you had asked for.
Yes, okay. But that has not been revised?
That has not been revised.
So these two plans have been revised since you came before us?
Correct.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Megan Ditcher from Conoco. Pull up plans. So I'll just go over some of the changes we've made since we met last time. The first, we had discussions about open space. In particular, there was concern about a place for children to play and spend time outdoors. With that, we added in a play park right near the amenity building.
Can you just tell us what, you're on page 10,
Sorry, this is, yep, page 10 of the site plans.
okay? And this is, does this replace the dog park that you were planning?
Nope, we still have the dog park on the far end here.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Sorry. We still have the dog park at the end of the development as well.
Okay. Where is that?
Let me just grab my laser pointer and I can point it out for you.
Can you guys hear her in the back? No. Okay.
Could you speak in the microphone, please? 'Cause no one can hear you.
I don't know if the microphone isn't,
The microphone only goes to Zoom.
oh, okay. All right.
Or maybe just raise your voice. Thank you. One second, let me check this out.
Thank you.
Can you blow, is there any way you can make that large, that bigger? I'm struggling. Is it page 10 of the new plan?
Now she's on 11. It's on,
So-
it's,
Sadly, there is no way to raise the volume.
I'll just speak loud. Sure.
thank you very much.
I believe what's being broadcasted here is from your computer here, so I can't actually make it larger. It has to be made larger through this. Like I have a full screen on mine, but it's not, I believe.
Thank you, and it is page 11 of your new plans.
Correct,
Now
that's
you're on
page
12.
11.
Thank you. Right there. Play park.
Okay, so go ahead.
And the pa-
So I'm pointing out here, we have the play park.
Again, miss, we can't hear you. You have to speak up, please. It's a big room. I know there's a lot of echo, but you have to speak up.
Right.
No one can hear you. So like, use your voice. It's okay.
So here we have the play park right in this area here. And the dog park is in this area here.
I don't, so on page 10,
Correct.
can you show us where the dog park is on page 10?
The dog park isn't on page 10. It was always on page 11, and it's still there on page 11.
But it's the same footprint, so where,
It's right there, that's the patio.
I don't know where the disconnect is. Can you show us, like, on page 10, where that dog park would be?
You can't see the dog park on page 10. They're connected right next to each other.
It has to exist on page 10 somewhere. Because it's, isn't it the same? Oh, so to page 10, it doesn't extend out all the way?
Correct.
Okay, all right, never mind. Thank you.
In addition to those, we also increased the patio and garden area to the south of the first building.
And that's depicted on page 10?
Correct, page 10.
Do you have a plan that shows all of this on one page?
Not in this plan set, no.
Do you have it in another plan set? I mean, I'm,
We've previously
Kinda.
submitted materials that show these things.
but you've changed these.
That's correct. It's not shown on one plan because if it was shown on one plan, you can't see any of the detail on that, all shown on one plan.
Your previous plans are not what we're going to be approving. Am I correct in stating that?
That's correct, and these plans have all of the information correctly shown.
Okay, it's a little hard to follow when you have bits and pieces on different pages. That's my point. Am I wrong in,
I think, Lane, as David pointed out, you have to like fold the page over to match it up because it's too, everything is too long to be depicted on one. Okay, so you've had to
So if you
fold
had,
it
yeah,
over.
so if you had page 10 and page 11, it was gonna,
You
you
just-
can't copy that.
No.
So now you have two different variants.
All right, let
So
me-
it doesn't work.
so we will hear from the public in a moment.
Well, I apologize.
No, that's fine. I have to keep it to us first, and then I'll definitely be opening up, yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Another change we made was on this access road here, we straightened out the road slightly. There was previously a slight bump in it, and we just straightened it out, so it's easier for fire access. The fire truck could get through before, but this was just to simplify it. In addition to that, we eliminated in that same area a retaining wall, and just adjusted the grade in for that removed retaining wall.
Could you tell us what page you're on?
This is still on page 10.
Page 10, thank you.
To accommodate the new changes, we adjusted the shape of the amenity building. It will still incorporate the same components inside it, such as the fitness area, the leasing office, the mail room, and work rooms for remote work.
May I ask if you were going to put together a written summary of the changes that you're making, just to facilitate our review and deliberations? Is that possible?
I could do that. The
Just-
peer reviewer actually did have a list of it as well, but I could also provide you with a list.
I mean, just to it would just, there's it's a big project,
Yeah.
and there's so many piles of paper, just to facilitate our review, deliberations, and ultimate determination, if you could. I don't know if that's possible, because tonight might be your last hearing. Or we can always review the record, I suppose, but that would be great if it's legally possible.
Yep, I will do that if it's possible. The last change we made was a change to the snow storage areas. We had a comment that we didn't want overlap in the snow storage and landscaping within the 5% that the planning board requests for snow storage area. With that in mind, we took out all of the landscaping within 5% of the snow storage area. The landscaping area will likely still be used for snow storage, but it has that minimum 5% without any of that area. Those are all shown on the plan as the dotted hatches, such as the hatch in this area.
That is on page 10.
Correct.
What is the LS in the middle?
LS stands for landscaping.
So
And the
you're-
5% requirement was from the plan.
Correct, it's in the planning board regulations.
Lane, just for the people online, we're not seeing this, we're just seeing a straight plan and nothing else.
You're seeing what?
Just the plan. Like, I
Okay.
have no idea, I'm just seeing one single plan, and I have to listen to it to try to figure out from people that are online.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that's up is the plan. The presenter is just using a pointer to just point out some things. But that's on our screen.
If it's helpful, I can also move the mouse to the areas, if you can see that on the Zoom.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the problems I see in this set of drawings, though, is you do have, on the right-hand side, there is a revisions on revisions 1 through whatever you have, the number 6. But usually, they have a little triangle where the revision is in the drawing, 1, 2, 3, so you know where revision 1 is and what it is. I don't see any revision notifications on the drawing itself. I see a little profile on the right-hand side, but I don't see the actual revisions, which to me is, the designer should know better. It's pretty,
If we showed all of the revision markings for every single revision, you wouldn't be able to see anything on these plans, unfortunately.
well
It's-
then,
That's why we need a
that's
bigger
why we
set.
need them. And we couldn't, then how are we supposed to understand them if you can't show them?
Because I'm speaking to you and I'm illustrating what's been changed. I'm here to answer any questions you might have on what's changed.
No, I
You've been
get it,
here
but
for-
once this is filed, there's not gonna be a person narrating what we're looking at in the drawing. You can see every revision and change. At the very end, whatever gets approved, should be the final drawing.
That's correct,
without
and
a
it will have
revision.
all of the information.
Well, I don't think it's there yet.
Just to clarify, I'm sorry,
No, go ahead, Marcia.
your concluding comment. In the end, at the end of it, I guess that would assume a final,
Submission.
no, this is their submission, and you're here to explain, can I? As I understand it, this is your submission to the board, and as revised. Is that correct?
Correct.
And you are here to explain your revisions to us?
Correct.
Okay. And should this board approve this project with conditions, you know? Am I to just so I understand and everybody here understands, that the final project with all the conditions attached to it will be depicted on a final set of plans that you will be bound by?
Our
You
town
being-
council is here, and he can answer that.
I'm asking them first, and I just want to know what their understanding is going forward.
Correct. Typically, we'll submit a final plan set, conditions will be issued, and then all of those conditions will go into the plan set that turns into basically a construction document where we continually update it with the, any construction modifications that need to be made and need to come back to the town.
Okay, thank you.
Did you have something to add to that?
Yeah, I think for the board's benefit, typically what we do in our approvals, if there's going to be an approval, is to have a requirement that at a certain point, a period like 60 or 45 days prior to submission of building permit applications, they have to give a final plan set that reflects all of the conditions in it. And that's been our standard for a long time with this board and with other boards. So they should be picking up everything that would be in the condition. So this plan, if this is the final plan that they're submitting to you, would be identified. But the plan of record, ultimately, that the building commissioner, as well as the board's inspectional engineers, will be that more advanced plan set that would be 100% level construction drawings that will incorporate all the conditions. And that's pretty standard fare in our conditions that we've been working on with you for a number of years.
Thank you. All right, so was that all the revisions?
Correct, that's all the revisions.
Last time that we were here, we had discussed kind of at length, I mean, you see a lot of people here. Did you guys reach out to the abutters at all to try and schedule a meeting like we had suggested? Did you meet with them? No? No. Okay. I mean, that's really bad faith on your part, that you couldn't meet with them, at least hear them out. They're all here tonight, wondering what's going on. We suggested it. It's been over a month that we were here, and you couldn't even reach out to them. I I think that, I don't know, that speaks volumes. Any other comments from the board?
Not right now.
I just think that the plans are so tiny and small that we need a magnifying glass to look at this massive project that's going on. And they're not even full sets, even though I know that they've had some, but they have been changed back and forth. So with this here, it's like dots on the paper.
We provided the town with all the plans they asked for, the full-size ones and the small-size ones. If you needed more full-size, we definitely could have provided that.
Well, it's a little late.
There's full size, one like the other.
That's the full size?
Yep.
Okay. Any other, Paul, did you have anything?
Currently, I don't have a comment. I'm just listening.
Okay. Marcia, did you have something?
I just want to make sure I understand. This is the final hearing.
So,
Is that correct?
yes, they are,
I just
you are
wanted to-
not asking for a waiver? An additional waiver?
We are asking for the same waivers we were previously asking for.
So today's the deadline?
They don't want to do another extension.
If I may, this is Tanya Trebison. With Marioni Shaughnessy and Udi, here with the engineer. Yes, so we had been asked if we would be willing to extend the hearing deadline again, and because we've been before you for so many times and have provided many revisions, we are declining to request an additional extension. We believe that this project, as proposed, is well within the developer's best rights, and we would request that the board close the public hearing this evening.
Okay.
Thank you very much. And you don't want to submit, as I understand, you're the engineer for the developer. You have nothing more to submit to us
That's
tonight.
correct.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else from the board before I open it up to the public? I'm going to open it up to the public. Anybody care to speak? I think we're going to try and limit it to new things and any issues with the new plans, if possible. Doug?
Hey, Doug Dondero, 14 Copper Beach Drive. Just for everyone's attention, if it gets closed this evening, what happens?
So if it gets closed, my understanding is that we have 40 days to then,
So you'd have 40 days to deliberate. That would usually be 1 or 2 sessions.
Sorry.
That 40 days to deliberate, that would usually be 1 or 2 sessions of deliberation, and then, get a draft decision done. So that's what would happen. We could, but we don't have to deliberate tonight. We could return outside of the public hearing format, but in a public meeting and deliberate later.
Public involved, or is that strictly the zoning board of appeals?
That's up to the board, but normally it's strictly the zoning board of appeals at
Thank you.
that point.
Hi, Britt Opachinsky, 15 Copper Beach Drive. I've been up to the podium many times now, and I feel like there's still major aspects of the development that are not addressed and that we've been asking Coneco repeatedly to address, and they're not. And now it sounds like this is the final meeting. Cushman Drive. What is the plan for Cushman Drive? Because Cushman Drive is a narrow, I call it a cart road. It's not up to grade. And right now, if you were to drive down Cushman Road, there's 2 running streams that come down because there's water, it's the wet season. So what type of environmental studies have been done for that? And if you think that you're going to put sidewalks on Copper Beach and just stop them there, why would you stop them there? Because you just think that every person's just going to the school. So you're going to put hundreds of people in apartments that then might actually want to go to 3A So to me, if you have to put sidewalks in, you have to put sidewalks in all the way up to 3A, which means then you have to widen Cushman to make sidewalks. And I don't think that has been addressed at all. So is there a plan for that? Do you want me to stop and have them address it? Because I have a couple.
Yeah, I would like them to, as we get questions, if you guys can address it, please. Yes. So specifically on Cushman Drive, what is your plan,
I can
for-
bring
if
the
anything?
board back. I actually missed it in my notes. We actually did get rid of the sidewalk there, so the sidewalk ends right at the end of the street now. It is shown on your plans,
What page?
page 10, and you can see on page 11 as well that there is no sidewalk along the top.
Does everybody see that sidewalk?
It's not on Copper Beach, it's just coming out, it stops.
Yeah.
There's no sidewalk on Copper Beach. So where would they walk to?
So you're putting, can you repeat that? You're putting a sidewalk on, you're not putting a sidewalk on anything?
So we're no longer doing a sidewalk along Carver Beach Drive. It ends at the end of the access drive, just as basically if.
Wait, what ends? You're saying it, what ends?
The proposed sidewalk ends on the access drive. It does not go onto Copper Beach Drive.
Is that because the residents elected not? I thought I heard,
So the residents have been saying at the meetings that they don't want a sidewalk along Copper Beach Drive. We left the sidewalk just going, stopping at Copper Beach Drive as just emergency access in case the residents of the development ever need to emergency access if a fire or something.
and Cushman, the concerns about Cushman Drive sidewalks, were they ever part of the project?
I think in the first not the first set of plans, so before any revisions, we had a sidewalk on Cushman Drive on a portion of it. And then when we changed the access, that went away, and we had a proposed sidewalk along Copper Beach Drive, and now that sidewalk is no longer proposed.
Thank you very much.
So Cushman Drive is much narrower than Copper Beach. Is there a way to expand that? Is that your question that you're asking, or?
Yes, you could never safely put 200 cars, or however many you think it's going to be exiting that, on that road. You can't even take a corner, when another person's coming this way,
Yeah.
it is very tight.
So
So it's not, I don't know your standards for a road, but you should measure it, and there's no curve, it's just kind of rolls off.
Is there any plan from the developer to do anything with Cushman Drive?
So currently, Cushman Drive and Copper Beach are 18 feet wide based on what the traffic engineer has stated, which is wide enough for a small local road. There's no plans right now to increase the size of that road. As I understand, there's wetlands on both sides. Based on what the traffic engineer as well as the town's traffic peer review engineer has said, they don't seem to find a problem with it.
That reminds me, the traffic study that you guys did, you're not doing another one?
Correct.
Just had to ask again. Okay. So the one in the summer where no one was driving, that was sufficient for you guys?
We had that one as well as the one that we submitted to Mass Housing, which was done in the middle of April.
Okay.
Do we have a copy of the one you submitted to Mass Housing?
Yes.
Because I only have the
Yeah, I only have the
November
other one.
4, 2025, and the November 14, 2025 studies. So is there a third one?
There was two. There was one in 2022 and then one in 2025.
Okay, oh, so you're talking about with your application, back in when you first started this project?
We submitted it first to the town when we did the mass housing application, as we're required to, and then when we submitted the project to the ZBA, we submitted it again as just part of the application.
Gee, you know, if you say you submitted it as part of the original 2023 application, is that what you're saying? That original study? Because we've never seen a third I've
I
never
have
seen
not.
a
I've
third
only
traffic
seen one.
study.
I've only seen one, and it was done, I think, in August of last year.
That one was the second one,
Okay. What day was the April one done on?
April 17th.
Isn't that like Patriots Day? I mean,
No, it's a Thursday.
okay.
Was it on Copper Beach Drive or was it on Marion?
It was along Copper Beach Drive, Marion Drive, and then at the large intersection where the highway is.
Okay. It was a Thursday. Of
Thursday.
what year?
Of 2022.
Okay.
School buses are still.
Any other questions? I'm gonna have her step up.
Okay. So are we just taking their word for it that Cushman Drive is wide enough? Because I drive it every day.
Their plan is not to do anything with Cushman Drive.
Okay. Okay. Last meeting, I felt like there was a lot of momentum and a lot of talk about how unnecessary the road onto a Copper Beach was to start with. I felt like we have established that most major developments have one road in and one in, one out. And Mr. Lincoln said he just wants it. Okay. I would like a key card to go to the mall or to go to the dump and make it a lot easier for me as well at the end of my street that's blocked off. But I don't. We all get on the highway and we go 5 minutes around. I just don't understand when you are talking about putting all these cars onto the school roads, how you can think that is not a safety concern. We live on the street, we see how many kids come riding their bikes from Indian Pond, from our street, they come from Riverview. That traffic, the buses go all the way, the whole length of the street. I just don't understand this exit and why the push for this, because it is creating a million problems. And I just don't understand why we're still entertaining it. Can we just take that off the table? I mean, you're still gonna have all your apartment buildings, you're gonna have your, I don't know. To me, it just makes no sense. And then I never really saw the light pollution study. We have no streetlights. Are we gonna be living in a parking lot?
I think that they submitted the photometric.
Is it like this traffic study?
The gate, I believe that was addressed, and they are not willing to not allow that. That was something that.
Can the zoning board not allow that? Can you
Yeah, I
ask?
mean, we can condition it on whatever we want. We can not allow the whole thing.
Okay, I would formally request that we can
Okay.
remove that road. I don't understand why that is so necessary.
Let me just get clarification. You are not willing to get rid of that egret, or that road, correct? Okay. So they're not willing to get rid of that.
Because I just don't understand.
Massive retaining walls for no reason.
Can you
It's-
give a reason why,
It's,
please? And then also,
Yeah, what
while you're
is-
up there, can you clarify the date of the April
can you see that traffic
22nd?
study?
That's what I just looked up, so.
With no school buses, no traffic. You're driving down the road, you don't know what it's like to get out during school hours. You have 300 cars to it.
All right, we have to keep it to people at the mic, but you can get in line and speak. So was there anything else that you had?
Okay, so the light pollution, it was done and it's okay? That's what we're saying? How do we see this?
So they said.
Our engineer reviewed their,
Like,
excuse me.
No offense, I don't really trust it.
The town engineer reviewed their study and concluded in his professional opinion
Yeah.
that, based upon their study, that your neighborhood would not be bothered
gonna be
by
the
light
same.
pollution. I'm just repeating.
Yeah, we will add it to the list.
The information that our engineer
Okay.
provided to us, when
Okay.
he reviewed
Sure.
on our behalf, and your behalf. you know, you're
Okay.
study.
Thank you. And then the only other thing is, I think briefly we touched upon the fact that now it's a two four-story complexes. Are we worried about the fire engines not being able to get their ladders to the top? That was discussed because it's a narrow parking lot.
That's a good
and
question. Do we have any information on
never went
that?
back to the fact that the people on the top floor maybe couldn't get out on a fire. Are we worried about that? I
Do-
would be.
I-
The fire department has,
Yeah, they've
apparently has
okayed
been
this,
made
but I don't
aware
know
of the
specifically.
changes. Is that correct? They're circulating.
Is that still the case? Can I ask, are we still dealing with that problem?
Can you just address the three, I think, questions? Thank you.
First traffic study was Thursday, 14th.
Okay.
It seems typically, based on what I looked at, the April vacation is typically the first or second week of April. So it shouldn't have interfered. Based on what I looked at on the traffic study as well, I could see that there was a surplus of cars going into the school, likely from the teachers and school workers, which makes sense versus the one we did in August for the morning. For the height of the building, I believe we looked at the development at the mall is also a four-story building. If the fire trucks can reach that, they should be able to reach as well. We did the fire department, in addition to getting it from the town, we also brought plans directly to them with this submission so that they can see it. They haven't indicated that they have any issue with the turn analyses that we provided, showing that they can reach all the sides of the building.
And then the public wanted to know why you will not get rid of that.
One
egress.
is based on, ideally, when we're developing any development, especially with a development that is meant to have quite a bit of people on it, it's better to have two access points to act as an emergency access for people to leave the area. In addition to that, having the second access point into Kingston allows residents to be able to actually get to all the different amenities and businesses in Kingston that they will be able to benefit versus going the other way and just hopping on the highway and going elsewhere.
Will this make it more, never mind, I'm not even gonna ask. Anything else? Okay. I'm gonna skip to Lauren Wall on Zoom. Lauren, if you could unmute. Lauren, are you there?
I am here.
Did you have a question? Your hand was up.
Yes, I have a number of questions. I feel like the elephant in the room currently is the size of this development. Number of people, or I've heard two comments saying it's a very large size. I'm currently worried about education, the schools, the classrooms are already full. Tax dollars to pay for additional fire trucks, police, different resources. Our roads, can you clarify what year you said that you did the traffic report? I don't know if you even drive down the street. I drive down these streets every day to get to work, and they're already cracked. They're already packed. Summertime, it's doubled. I just don't see a need for this. The only people that probably see a need for this building are the people making money off of this. So, I mean, there's so many different questions. I can go on and on. I just don't find a need for a size apartment in everyone's backyard, post schools. The roads are packed, the roads are already shitty, and I disagree with this whole project.
Okay, so I think we've talked about density a lot, and the developer is not willing to reduce the size of this project. And that's their final answer. Yes, please.
Nicholas Savitsky, 2 Palmers Lane. First off, I'd just like to state that I think whatever you guys are doing has not been done in good faith. Truthfully, it's not. If you had, even decent records. We could keep page 10, page 11, we have to merge them together. We have to mesh stuff. I mean, that is ridiculous. With that being said, we got to look at the fact that you can't get down Route 3A without traffic. The traffic is overpopulated to begin with in this town. I was here in '78. I'm here right now in 2026. You cannot get down 3A. To put that in would be an injustice to the people in this town. 100%. It would be a corporate greed push. And I will tell you, I've never been so disgusted with this town to even think that we're even talking about it and even think that we even allow it. Okay? Money's money, but this is ridiculous. We pay enough taxes in this town. We have a beautiful town. And I will tell you, the police department is the size of a postage stamp. We're going to put another how many thousand people in here and expect them to go up and down Copper Beach and take a right on Route 3A and expect that to work? You're going to have accident after accident after accident. And on top of that, you're going to have God knows what people are living in there with kids running around that elementary school. I really am embarrassed to even have to come here tonight that this is even an issue. Completely honest with the board. Very upset. Very upset. I'm a voter, and I'm friends with a lot of people in this town, and we all vote. And we're going to sit there and we're going to really think about what happens here tonight and what you guys do and how we're going to handle this. Okay? So that's really all I have to say. I just want to agree with you, let you know I'm not upset. I'm upset about it, and I think it's a joke. And I really think this is all done with absolutely no thought at all about the town. This company, whoever they are, could care two craps about who lives in this town. All they care about, and this gentleman here with this beautiful shirt, just really wants to load his pockets with money. And that's all they want to do.
Let's keep it.
They don't, well,
yeah.
It's the truth. It's the truth, and we have to speak the truth. You know, this is a beautiful town. 1976, I moved in here with my family. 1976, I've never been so upset in my life to see what's going on. You can't even drive down the street. It's an absolute disaster. So to keep on putting more and more and more and flood it with tax, whatever you want to do, whatever you think you're going to get from it, you're not going to get. You're going to get people leaving by droves, absolute droves. I have some very good friends that live down there in Copper Beach and know for a fact they're going to have to sell and get out of there as quick as they can. Because who would want to live in that neighborhood now? It was a beautiful neighborhood that they're going to absolutely destroy. They're going to destroy it. And all I can say is thank God that my kids are getting older now, and I'm going to retire and get the hell out of here. Because this is one of the worst things I've seen you guys do. So that's all I have to say.
I don't
had to
work.
speak my word, but you got to think of what you're doing.
Okay. Just to be clear, we're not presenting this. We're the board.
I know, but you have to vote it on. You
Yeah.
have to step up and do the right thing. Is what you have to do.
I understand that,
You can't allow
but
this to happen.
yeah, we're a
You can't allow
board, and
these two people here to come
we're
in
also not
and
elected.
destroy our town.
We're a volunteer board. So
Well, you're a voted in board.
no, we're not. We're not voted in. No. If you want to join the board, feel free.
No, listen, I'm not putting you guys down. I appreciate what you guys do.
Yeah.
We all do. I really appreciate you guys take out time out here to come here, sit here every and do this.
All right, I'm gonna have to move this along because we are volunteer and we all want to go home.
They could care less about this town. If you guys care about the town, then.
I'm gonna ask Pine. Pine is the next person to speak.
Hi, thanks very much, Chair. I'd like to change the orientation of the comments a little bit. The question I have has to do with map 5, where Conoco lays out a FEMA floodplain and refers to a note, and their note says that they will be requesting a letter of map revision from FEMA, which is a federal agency, relative to the FEMA flood zone that is marked out on all of the reference maps. So USGS, FEMA, everybody has a floodplain there. And I did research this early on in this process, and I believe, if my memory serves me correct, that it referenced Second Brook. And Second Brook emerges on the west side of the Kingston Elementary School. So my understanding of that is that in the past, before the highway even, there was Second Brook there, just like there was First Brook that ran from Prospect Street across and emerges where it does now on Cushman Drive. So the state altered the landscape here. The town altered the landscape with the school. There was a floodplain that is still on FEMA's maps. And the applicant wants to still submit a letter of map revision to FEMA. So I'm wondering how that would play into the board's decision if you're waiting on something that has not even yet been requested, and what that might affect in the, and because I can't really tell. So on map 5, it has the area outlined. On map 8, it has test pits, but there was no test pit actually in the floodplain area. So to me, that says, well, you didn't really look for the groundwater elevation, because that's where the elevation is lowest on the plan. I believe it's elevation 70. I don't have it in front of me right at this moment. But what is being proposed there, since there are so many plans, I couldn't quite figure it out. But if you could address that, Chair, or the applicant could address, when are they proposing to write the letter? Can we at the Jones River Watershed Association get a copy of that letter when it's proposed and have a chance to review it? Because I don't really believe that geologic things change the way they're proposing that it does.
All right, thank you. So just to clarify, you were on page 5. Is that the new plans that we're?
Yes, on the new map set, map 5 outlines the FEMA flood zone and says C note, and the note below on map 5 says that they will be requesting a letter of map revision from FEMA. And then I went to map 8, and I saw that they had done a lot of test pits in the area, but not precisely in the low area. So I don't know what their test pits are trying to tell them.
So I see the C note, but where's the specific request? A request for a letter. Okay.
Right.
All right.
So that's a process we even had to go through when we took out the dams and stuff like that. It's a process through the federal government.
Great question. So can you address that, please?
Thanks.
Yep. So the floodplain shown on there was recently added to the FEMA flood hazard maps in the last revision. It didn't exist in their maps until a few years ago. They say that there is a brook running through there. Second Brook actually starts west of the school and then flows northward. We were out there with Concom walking the area to verify what we had from our survey, of which there is no stream running through that area. It would also be, a stream would be hard pressed to flow up and down 10 to 20 feet in that area, because streams, don't flow uphill. We did review the FEMA's modeling for it, and they also make notes in their own modeling that the area does not make sense for a stream to be there, despite the fact that they show it there anyways.
But so you requested a letter. Did you get?
We haven't requested the letter yet. We have to draft a letter. We have to submit it to the town. The FEMA flood official is in your Conservation Commission. So it has to go through him first. He has to sign off on it, and then we submit it to FEMA.
When did you identify this?
Sorry, I didn't hear that.
Why haven't you requested the letter yet?
We haven't requested the letter. We were going through the submission. Yeah, we haven't requested the letter based on that.
Did you raise it with Matt Pinella of the? So is he aware of this, the issue that Pine just raised?
We did walk the site with the Conservation Commission, including Matt, so, yes.
And did he weigh in on it, like in writing? Did he submit it?
He hasn't weighed on it in writing, no.
No. Okay, but that's on, that, he is aware of it.
Correct.
Okay, thanks.
So I
What's
think
the-
to
what's the-
answer, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
What's the consequence to the project if you don't get the map change?
If we don't get the map change, we would have to work with FEMA otherwise to provide a compensation area, basically, or to revise the area to not go within that area.
It would impact your wetland permitting too, right?
It would impact the wetland permit within the town. The state does not have wetland permits for a 100-year floodplain, but the town has wetland restrictions on a 100-year floodplain.
Can I ask a question, Chair? Because I could not understand from all of the maps, because there's quite a few of them here, what was being proposed at that location?
Yes, that's a good question.
So that location runs through the, it runs partially over the building too, and part of the parking lot to the east of that, parking lot and access road to the east of that.
So you want to put a building in a flood zone?
No, because it's not a flood zone, it's just mapped as a flood zone.
But you don't know that yet.
We're, based on what FEMA has for the model in there, we're quite sure that it is not.
Can I wrap up, Mr. Chair?
Yes.
I think that they should be required to do some test pits in that area in order to determine what the level of groundwater is. As I said, you know, historically, there was no highway there, and there were streams running from the east to the west, and it could be residual. We don't know what the highway did, really. You know, it's been there since, what, the 50s? Not actually there. I don't even think that area was built until the late 70s-ish. So it hasn't been that long, and it takes time for the earth to adapt, just like it takes time for us to adapt. And I just think that they should be required to really investigate. I'm not confident that, you know, whatever personnel are at FEMA right now can talk off the top of their head and say, oh, no, that was a mistake, because it has been historically on the map. Thanks very much. I appreciate your time.
Thank you. To answer your question, I don't think that we can make them do test pits. We can request it, but they're not probably going to, because they want to close the hearing. They want us to close the hearing today. As far as voting on this, we can condition it on, I'm going to defer to town council
I think
with our
I
options.
mean, it's a pretty big issue. It's a go, no-go issue.
Yeah.
Right? So it would either be conditioned on them resolving this as not being able to do anything. I mean, I think they know that they
Yeah.
can't do anything until this is resolved, at least not in this current form. And then if they don't get it resolved and they seem confident that they can, fine. The other option would be to deny it because currently they can't build it the way they're showing it if that floodplain currently exists. And I think those are the kinds of things that we'll have to discuss
Yes.
during deliberation. I haven't reviewed any engineering peer review that might discuss that. I haven't had a conversation with Matt Pennell or Val Massard about that yet either. So I think I would want to get a little smarter on it before
Yeah.
advising you. But that's the kind of thing that we can pick up in the deliberation for sure. It's a big issue.
Yes, thank you for pointing that out, Pine.
Can I just clarify something that town council just said? If we were to condition a permit as presented, their application is presented, on doing additional test bits, getting your approval from the EPA, isn't that a risk that the applicant bears if they don't get it?
Of course.
I just want to be clear on that.
Yeah.
So that's their risk.
We're not doing it,
No,
but
but so I don't understand why you would say that that's a reason to deny it if it's their
well, I'm not,
risk.
that's,
Just clarify.
that's for you
Yeah.
all to decide. but-
I asked him what options, and he's
Right.
giving us all options.
Right.
Thank you. Next person up.
Keith Anson, number 1 Copper Beach Drive. I just want to bring up some issues that was presented by Mr. Lincoln at the last meeting, which I think is a little disturbing. He claimed that his main reason for wanting that access road going down to Copper Beach Drive was so that the residents of Cushman Farms could enjoy the many amenities of downtown Kingston. Well, for the life of me, I don't know what he's talking about, because there are none. The only thing they got down there is a massage parlor. If that's what he's referring to, I think it's kind of a weak argument on his part. Every single amenity that you can think of is located at Colony Place or at the Kingston Mall. Colony Place has 3 supermarkets, Aldi's, Market Basket, and Walmart, which also has a pharmacy. You got Lowe's hardware store, which is a 2-minute drive away. You got Portside Liquors. You got the Kingston Mall for Target, plus numerous restaurants, and every amenity you could think of is at Colony Place. You can literally drive out Marion Drive, take a right on Gallen Boulevard, and get down to William Gould Highway, which was built for the traffic. They widened that when the Colony Place went in and when the train came in. It could absorb that type of traffic. That's where the traffic should be going. Not down Copper Beach Drive. There's absolutely no reason for him to put that road down there. It does not serve the town well. It does not serve anybody well. He should take that off. And the kids aren't going to be walking to school. They're going to be bused to school. That easement, which is next to my house, is an emergency egress only, okay? And there's just no reason to have that road coming down. There's no amenities in downtown Kingston. To me, it's ridiculous. That was a ridiculous thing for him to say. He's not willing to work with us. He doesn't want to budge an inch for anything for our neighborhood, okay? Also, I got the accident reports here from the Kingston Police Department. He says he did some sort of a traffic study. He counted cars. He didn't do a traffic study. There's been numerous accidents out in front of Cancun Restaurant, okay? There's like 37 last year. 14 the year before, and there's 7 the year before that. It's increasingly gotten worse. And this isn't my talk from me. This is from the Kingston Police Department. That access road is just going to make traffic worse. It's a safety issue. It's got to be addressed. And there's no reason for that access road. He should take it off, and he should be ashamed of himself. He should be. And I'm going to leave it at that right now.
Hell yeah.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Jennifer Cushman, 273 Main Street. So I'm not actually right there, but I can tell you there is a stream that goes underneath the road that goes down to the elementary school. It's been there since I was a kid. My concern, and I didn't even know this was still going on. I thought this was killed years ago, because we talked about it at a meeting a number of years ago, and we figured out there's no way you can fit buses. The buses are just about wide enough to get up this hill.
They have to go down the middle of Cushman Drive.
Yeah, when I'm talking about the hill going up to Cancun,
Yeah, but in Cushman Drive.
they were saying that was too small for even the buses. And then put kids walking, and they do walk because I've seen them. I mean, it's crazy to even consider building anything near that school. And then in 10 years, are we going to have to build new schools too? Yeah. That's getting ridiculous. As is, we're stretched this year for the schools.
I think the developer has addressed that question in a prior meeting in saying that the kids not many kids will be living in this, is their answer.
What?
So
You can't guarantee that.
I'm just telling you what the developer has told us
I know,
before.
they can tell you that, but
Yeah.
you can't guarantee it. No.
I'm not saying, it's not my words, it's
I'm
what.
just saying you can't
Yeah.
guarantee it.
So,
Joe
yes.
Cushman, 273 Main Street, Kingston, Mass. And my questions are, will this building be ADA accessible with wheelchair and elevators access?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Also, the Cushman Drive, I used to be on the bus that was going down that street. So, I know Cushman Drive is not big enough for buses to get down. They have to drive down the middle of the street to just get down there. Thank you. And please take this into consideration of public safety size increases in the next couple of years.
Thank you very much.
How we doing? My name's Derek Irby. I'm at 17 Copper Beach Drive. I've been there for 27 years. This was a little before my time, but I remember the gates at the end of Copper Beach Drive were closed because Copper Beach Drive became a cutaway from the mall, from the train station to skirt out and get up to Cushman Drive and get to Cancun. So my question is, after this winter, putting in that access road, building 2 massive retaining walls to get onto Copper Beach Drive, as many as my neighbors know, and this is no knock on the town of Kingston, all winter long it was 1 car wide. And it's no knock to our highway department, we had a bad winter, but what's the answer? I'm sure the development's gonna be privately plowed, which is fine, but does that give a cutaway to anybody that wants to get through? Just like the fire gate at the cul-de-sac? Am I allowed to go through there to shoot up to the mall? Who's to stop all the traffic? You may have done a traffic study on the amount of cars that could possibly be at this new development, but what stops it becoming a public road? Kingston's not gonna take care of it. So who's not to use it as a cut-through? So then your traffic study goes right out the window. There's no stoplights. It took me 8 minutes to get from Cushman Drive to the top of Hilltop Ave this morning during school hours. What's Copper Beach gonna turn into?
I did review some paperwork about the gates at the end of Copper Beach Drive to the
Yes.
MBTA station. Was that, if someone can speak to that, was that an agreement with the MBTA?
That I don't
Like-
know.
I believe it was.
Okay.
I believe
Okay.
it was. Can't
All right.
quite for sure.
I read something like
I believe it was.
So
Okay.
the town didn't have anything to do with that? I'm purely genuine.
I don't have any information on that. That's why I'm asking if it was just between the MBTA.
You want me to answer?
Yeah, absolutely.
Paul Tanis, 6 Copper Beach Drive. The agreement originally was to have electronic gates at the end of the road there, but the fire department didn't feel comfortable with them, so we ended up with lock gates. The agreement was between the town, Copper Beach, and the MBTA to put the gates there with emergency access, rather than just close the road completely. But the issue was, the T had stated, incompatible land uses. We had, they did a traffic study through South Shore Planning Council. There was over 1,300 cars a day going down to Copper Beach. So this is why they didn't want Copper Beach being used as a main access to the train station. Obviously, it would have been a disaster. So that's how the road ended up getting closed.
Okay, thank you.
So now is it a possible cut-through through this new development?
No,
I mean-
development's a cut through to Copper Beach.
Exactly, that's my point.
Yeah.
So now you can come up Copper Beach, take a quick left, go
No,
up
it's
through.
only out. So the complex, my understanding is the complex has access just to go out and not to come in.
Okay. That's fair. So it's gonna be a 1-lane road
Going
coming
out.
down, 1 lane.
I
Except
don't
for
know.
emergency vehicles.
It would be going up, right?
So if it's out, it'd
Out.
be coming,
Going out.
the grade of it would be coming
Yeah,
down to Copper Beach. Either, no, I get what you're saying. So it's
Yeah.
just a 1 lane going down Copper Beach.
Yes. So
Okay.
they would be turning right out of
Yes,
their
yes,
complex
yes,
to go down Copper Beach and then up.
To 3A.
Yeah.
Now, is the town prepared to take care of Copper Beach, snow removal, ice removal for another bad winter to fix 1 year? I think the last storm was what, 700K? And it was 1 lane. And I'm not knocking the highway department, they've done a great job, but, so we're paying for it? For another 400 cars?
I don't have an answer to what the town's willing to do.
Not a problem. And
Yeah.
I'm not coming at the board, the highway department does an excellent job, I just figured I'd bring that point up. Appreciate your guys' time.
Yep, thank you.
Hi, Jennifer Ehring, 51 Winthrop Street. I'm disgusted as I stand up here listening to all this happening. I was part of the fight for us to save Winthrop Street about 4 or 5 years ago, and thankfully that went through. At that town meeting, it was unanimous. Nobody wanted more building in Kingston. Last year, this time, we had a town meeting over building or not building another leaching field. It didn't pass because people did not want more building in this town. It came back as an environmental issue, and for that reason only, people passed it so it would clean it, so the Jones River would stay clean. The sewer committee at the time swore to us that it would not do any more building or allow access to that leaching field. Our town is at 98% for water already. We are down to one principal for over 1,100 students for 2 schools. One vice principal, one principal. I don't know if anybody, I mean, you must all have young kids here. Mine are almost out of the system here, but I can't imagine one person running 2 huge schools. You have no say in how many people are going to have kids in this slot. This turned out, I mean, this was before last year, it was only a slot that was like some apartment buildings. Now there's a dog park. Why do you need a dog park? There's a dog park right around the corner. And why bother all the people on Cushman Ave, or on Copper Beach? It is beyond ridiculous to me. How many times this town has voted as a whole to not have any more building, and yet this keeps coming up again and again and again. When is it going to stop? I, for one, am sick and tired of it, and I'm sure all these folks are here sick and tired of it. I don't know what else. That's all I have to say.
Savitsky again, 2 Palmer Lane. I just wanted to ask real quickly, when United Parcel Service came into Kingston and they went down to Independence Drive, I know for a fact they put millions of dollars into a traffic study at that light. And I know they gave the town a lot of money for that light as well, right? You guys can look back and you know your records. You know they gave you a lot of money. I don't think they've done anything in good faith at all to even look at that intersection and what's going to happen and what the nightmare they're going to create. At least with United Parcel Service, you knew, well, we have a big company. We know we can get a check out of them, right? And you guys got that, right? Now they're gone, thank goodness. But now we still have their money and we still have those lights. They're actually working pretty well. Nothing that these people are going to do, unless they start pocketing out some cash, which I know they won't, we're going to have major issues with that intersection. And as this gentleman said before, there was 37 incidents there last year. You're going to at least double that number, if not triple it, okay? And there's crosswalks there. I know there are people that work at that restaurant that walk up and they go across that crosswalk. You're going to have people getting really hurt, okay? So I think we need to step back, take a good look at what we're doing, what we're thinking about, before we start allowing all this to move into our town, okay? So I just wanted to reiterate with that, and I didn't think that, you know, unless they want to start coughing up some money, which I highly, sir, would you be willing to do that?
You have to address the board. You have to address the board.
Probably not. I assure he wouldn't.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure he wouldn't be willing to do that.
All
So
right.
I don't think he cares about this town. And I think that we should really step back and think, what's going to happen when you start doing that? That's a lot of cars. It's a lot of traffic coming up there, and it's already a nightmare. So, all right,
Thank you.
appreciate your time. Thank you.
That's understood, but we're the zoning board, we're not the planning board.
Well,
We don't,
okay. So who
by
do-
the time things come to us, things have already been approved through the fire department, police department, planning board.
I can't believe the police department and fire department
So
allow that to even
that's up,
get to
you
where
have
it
to
is.
bring that up to them.
I do have a
Again,
question for the board.
We're the
If-
zoning board.
And just so the,
Well, who makes the final decision, if I may ask?
could I just interrupt you for a second?
Yes,
Just
ma'am.
so everybody present understands that these kinds of developments, this particular development, we are susceptible to them in our town.
Well, we've been
Because if you
successful,
let me
ma'am,
could I
and
finish?
sorry to interrupt you, but we've had that already at the.
You've got to let her, you've got to let her finish, please.
Well, we got.
Again, I'm just trying to share with you, we are susceptible to developers coming into Kingston, our town,
And ruining.
and asking the zoning board of adjustment to give them waivers that would not otherwise be granted to any other developer. And the reason for that is because, and this has nothing to do with everybody who sits here and works hard in this town, it's because years ago, the state decided that Kingston did not have enough affordable housing units. And because of that,
We're not at our limit.
we don't have a safe harbor from these requirements that permit developers to come into our town, your beloved town, that's my adopted town, and ask for these kinds of developments because they serve a specific purpose that is that is authorized by state law. And our town has to hear them out. Okay? That's why they're here.
Yes, ma'am, and
But we're never gonna make that quota.
If you keep turning them down,
You have
you're
to
right.
speak at the microphone if you're
we
going to
have to,
speak.
we have to
And
stay in order. And, ma'am, I appreciate what you said, and I do appreciate that. But at what point in time do we say enough is enough?
At what point in time does the town start
And who's okay?
approving some of these projects?
all
At
right.
some point, ma'am,
There's a certain percentage that the town needs to get to. So
I
let me-
feel like we're
Let me just
beyond that.
ask, does anybody from the board remember, we had peer review on the traffic study,
At what point are we
but it was the
beyond?
traffic study from August of,
You can't do a traffic study in July.
please, let me talk.
The two traffic studies,
Did we have peer review on the 2022?
again, I
traffic
never
study?
knew about a 20.
Paul, if you're on there, can you speak to that?
To the state.
That was the state.
to the state.
That was
So
for
we
their
didn't-
application.
Mr. Brennan, from what I know, Mr. Brennan only reviewed the newest one. I don't know if he was actually aware of the 2022
Okay.
study. That's why we were going to request to have another traffic study done properly. Even though I think Mr. Brennan at the time had said that it was between him and the other traffic study, they said it was adequate, but I think us in the board and the public felt that that was untrue.
Okay.
So we were requesting a more robust traffic study.
All right, thank you.
I'd like to say Mr. Dowland's probably correct in that we need that done. I know that United Parcel Service did that, and they actually stopped that influx, because I don't know if you recall when they first went in there, the traffic was backed up to that rotary in Duxbury. You couldn't get down Winter Street. You couldn't even get anywhere near that intersection when they released those trucks. Now, when you start pulling this going on down at Copper Beach, it's going to be just as much of a nightmare, if not worse.
So-
I
so
think-
just
I
for the
think these are
record, we
things
have
that
asked them to do a different one, and they have not
never did a
done it.
comprehensive study on that, did they not?
Well, I didn't know
I
about the
highly doubt he did.
2022 study. Did
'Cause I
anybody
think
else?
he's afraid to pull his pocket out.
Did you?
I think they did the 2022 study in connection with their original application, or the, to the state housing authority, when they were
Yeah.
approved the project. It
Is there a
wasn't
time limit on that, ma'am?
part of this proposal.
Because that was 4 years ago.
I'm just trying to explain
No,
to
I'm
you.
asking
Yeah.
if there's a
That-
time
that-
study
Can we
on
hear-
that where you can go.
Did you have
okay,
any other
We asked for
questions?
the one in 20.
That's
I'd like
why
to
we
get
asked for a
updated
new
time
one.
on that, no?
We
An updated
asked for
time
a
on
new
what?
study.
There's no time limit on a study? So when a town
We've asked
expands
them
and
for, so, again, we've asked them for another traffic study. They have refused to get one, and that's what we're stuck with when we
Okay.
vote on this.
Oh, great. So he doesn't want to open his wallet up and do a time study?
You have to not have personal attacks in these meetings, please.
Well, I do. Okay.
All right, next.
Hi, Tracy Obrist, 8 Copper Beach Drive. In regards to the exit going onto Copper Beach Drive, right now it's sized for exit only plus emergency access fire for the fire department. The closest fire department is by the mall. why would the fire department access be on Copper Beach Drive in lieu of Marion Drive? As we all know, the gates will most likely be left open, and two-way traffic will go through the fire exit, access entry.
I think it's a one-way road, is that correct? It's one way.
They say it's one way, but we all know it's sized for double that. And with the gates, they usually end up being left open. So if the fire access were to be moved closer to the fire department, it might alleviate some of our concerns.
Perhaps
And-
it would require more than one truck to respond, and maybe they would want another access point. It seems to be in the best interest of safety to have another emergency access for use by only emergency vehicles.
Isn't it, there only one access currently?
It's a second access.
A second access?
So it's two access points only for emergency vehicles.
Okay, and also, in regards to developments coming in the town meeting last year, the MBTA required housing developments be approved at the mall, and that did go through. So wouldn't that be a better location as opposed to this, since it was already approved for affordable housing? I just want to state
The
that.
mall is currently cited for future residential development, but not in this category. This is a special kind. The apartments at the mall, so you all understand, they were not a 40B project. That was a developer that came in and in conjunction with the town's efforts to redevelop the mall, built, I guess, what, 3, 4-story, I don't know how many.
There's a 10% thing piece that they have
Right.
for affordable housing, but it's not mandated.
It wasn't a 40B. It was
Okay.
not like this project. This project is specifically a 40B project. All right.
The whole thing? The whole thing?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
No, it's not all, 40B means that it's
It's
not all affordable housing, it's a certain percentage of, I'd have to look at the plan of how many units are affordable? 25%. Thank you.
Which makes how many?
25%. 25%.
What's 25%?
How many units are there?
66 units.
6 units?
40-something.
30 units. The parking is on the map.
But just so you understand, the mall didn't have, the apartments at the mall were not required to have
And
a
also, this
certain
is a developer
percentage.
that owns this parcel of land. We can't make, he doesn't own where the land is, so he can't, I mean, that's not an application that's before us.
request less apartments?
We have. They,
Make it smaller, cut it down.
so we have addressed that the board feels, I don't want to speak for everybody, but I think that the board as a whole feels like the density of this project is way too.
We've addressed
Yes.
that in past meetings, man. Yes.
They did reduce the amount of, originally they had planned more units. I don't remember the amount, but they have reduced that.
180, there was 3 buildings.
There were 3 buildings on the original plans. And this was
I think
stalled
they reduced it
because,
because they didn't have the parking.
okay. And to address a question before, this was stalled for a while because the sewer department had a, I'm sorry, the water
The water
department
department.
had a moratorium, but since has,
Been lifted.
yeah, they lifted that.
Reversed.
Were there any other questions from the public?
Susan Sherman, 215 Main Street. First, let me say that I appreciate all of your hard work. You people are volunteers, and that is something in Kingston we definitely need.
Thank you.
I live on Main Street. I've lived in Kingston my entire life. And I guess I want to ask, when do we start taking care of our residents? Where do they come into this? Is it the planning board? Is it the zoning board? You know, we are changing the character of Kingston. And it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart. How can we, I saw one of the selectmen say, we didn't outlaw 40Bs. I don't think you can outlaw 40Bs, can you? Were we as a town able
No.
to do that? No.
It's a state
Yeah,
mandate.
only when we hit safe harbor, then we're not susceptible.
So we're not able to do that.
Until we increase our stock of affordable housing, we're
And I believe we
susceptible.
need to do that, Ms. Meekin, I definitely do. I don't know that we need to destroy neighborhoods in order to achieve that. And that's all I want to say. Again, I want to say thank you for all your help, because I know that it's a long days and long nights of looking at these things, but I hope you do take into consideration the character of the town that you all moved to, I came from, and I hope it continues. I really do.
Thank you.
I just have some follow-up questions. I'm wondering.
You have to state your name again.
Jennifer Ehring, 51 Winthrop Street. I'm wondering how we ever are to achieve reaching our goal of having enough affordable housing when every time we say we're building affordable housing, it's just a little bit of affordable housing along with luxury apartments or McMansions. And so where we still then are not meeting our quota. So it seems to me it's an unattainable goal. Correct?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Theory.
And again, I agree with her. I didn't grow up here. I moved here in 2010 and raised my boys here, and I have loved every minute of it. What is happening now, it takes me 30 minutes to get from Winthrop Street down towards the highway to go to the dump on Saturday morning. It's gotten out of control, and I feel like we keep asking and asking, no more building, and nobody's listening. I don't know who's supposed to listen, but it's not happening. And
Attorney
the fact
Talbot.
that this was voted down ages before this ages ago, we all voted this plan down, and it's still coming. I was shocked to hear this was coming again tonight before the ZBA. And can this go before the next town
Can I-
meeting to be a vote?
Do you mind just addressing the 40B aspect of this project so that everybody is clear here on what the town of Kingston needs to meet and
So
do?
if we don't, there's a number of safe harbors to get out from under the heavy weight that is 40B. One of the primary one is that you have to have 10% affordable housing. For a rental project, you get credit for 100% of the units on your subsidized housing inventory, even though only 25% of them are affordable. So 100% of the units in this project will count towards that 10% goal, which helps us get closer. So that helps the numerator essentially in that equation. Right now, we're not at 10%, so we can't deny this project.
If you could ask, where are we? Are we at 9.5? Are we at 7?
We're currently at 5.
We're only at 5%.
Right.
Oh, my gosh.
So we'll make a significant dent in that with this project, but that doesn't help us with this project. It might help us with the next project. So we've made some progress over the last several years with some other 40B projects. The denominator is small solace, I know. The denominator in the equation doesn't change in between the decennial censuses. So as long as we keep making progress on the numerator, the number of total affordable units, with the denominator being the total number of housing units in town, we can get to that 10% within every 10 years. Then every 10 years, they reset the denominator, so you might fall back a little. Here, it's complicated, I understand. Here, we do get substantial progress. Rental projects give you a big step forward. Doesn't help us in terms of deciding this. So we can't avail ourselves of a safe harbor.
Well, so again, sir, really, it's unattainable.
It's not
It's-
unattainable. It's fully attainable, and towns do it all the time. And ironically, despite whether this is a good project or a bad project, this will help us get into safe harbor for the next project, because not only will we get much closer to 10% with just this one project, we will also make significant progress. So we have another safe harbor. If you make a certain amount of progress in a given year, then you might be able to say no. That's, again, doesn't help you here with respect to how the board has to act on this one, because we're not in any of the various safe harbors. But it is not unattainable, because towns hit that 10% number frequently. And they do it more frequently with the benefit of these big rental projects than with home ownership projects.
But every time we have these big rental projects, or we have these big projects, there are a number of homes that go up where there are multiple bedrooms, which bring in multiple children, and more for our infrastructure, more for our police. Our police station is literally this big and has a rotted roof, and we still have not been able to replace that.
So those particular concerns, and I don't want to get too deep in the weeds here, school impacts and police officer impacts are not the kind of things that we're allowed to consider in the denial. There are a number of things, and we've talked about a number of them, the traffic issue, the floodplain issue, general engineering, other issues are very much part of what the board will be deliberating on, and the board has already noted their preference for making some conditions or discussing the access onto Copper Beach, to discussing the impact of that floodplain. They've referenced the general size of the project. So those are all live issues. When the board is talking about taking this information in, the board hasn't made a decision. The board could approve this as is, they could deny it as is, or they could approve it with conditions, including conditions that substantially change this project. None of that has been decided yet. So that'll happen when the hearing closes and the board gets together in a couple weeks to chew on this, on all the evidence that we've been collecting here, including all of your comments, which are important. So that's part of the process that we have to go through. I've been working with this board, with Lane and Paul and Doug for years, and we've approved some, we've denied some, we've conditioned some. This board has always been a pretty honest arbiter about these things, and they take the town's considerations and interests to heart. That's been my experience with this board. I work across the state.
I mean, we appreciate that.
So I'm not saying don't make your comments. All these comments are super valuable.
Right.
But this board is going to do everything they can to do the right thing here.
Is it possible that this goes before the town for a vote?
No, that's
No.
not
It's done.
possible.
It's not going to happen.
So it's possible.
It's
that
not
we-
possible.
Not possible?
The
It's
next,
not, that vote would not be
no.
binding.
The next step is we vote on this, and then if we, depending on our vote, there could be an appeal in the court system.
Okay.
So that would be the next step, and we have to keep that in mind as we're voting as well.
I just want to add,
Safe harbor lasts for how long? 2 years?
No, that's a different safe harbor. So there are safe harbors that are of limited duration, like when you make progress. So if you make like a 0.5% or a full percent in a given year, then you get some temporary safe harbors. This project will certainly provide at least a temporary kind of progress safe harbor in case another 40B gets applied for when we're done with this one. But the 10% issue is fixed. Once you hit 10%, you can say no to any 40B project until such time as you fall below 10%. And we fall below 10% either due to the passage of time sometimes, or because some of the restrictions on older affordable housing projects where the affordability was not perpetual, where that expires.
And if we had decided to keep the water moratorium in place,
Yep,
we could have said.
100%.
We can't do anything for infinity.
yep. And the same with the leaching field.
Talk to your water commissioners.
That's a big issue. Look at what's happening in Bridgewater.
I'm talking about here in Kingston.
So,
All right, let's,
so
let's,
basic, I just want to also remind everyone that that Indian Pond was supposed to have private snow removal too, and that's not happening. So we're adding also to, if we have another huge storms and are way over budget, more snow removal for this whole area. And I just hope at least, since it can't go before a vote, that you at least really think about not having any access to Copper Beach, because it would be a shame to ruin that little neighborhood.
okay. There's a comment about the two mobile home parks that the state is not considering as affordable. So I'll leave that up for the people in the room to read. Yes.
So Brian Gagnon, 19 Copper Beach Drive. I just wanted to revisit the access road. So how can we ensure that that piece of it is taken into consideration during the deliberations and added as a condition?
We are taking that into consideration.
Okay.
We haven't decided whether there's a condition on it. We have to deliberate after we close the hearing tonight.
Because that piece of it is completely outside of the 40B, has nothing to do with the affordable, number of affordable units the town has. That's strictly access to this development through Copper Beach. So can that be under totally separate consideration? And can we be confident that the zoning board will add that as a condition?
You can't be confident because we haven't deliberated on that yet.
Can we
But you can be
request
confident
be
that,
added?
that we hear the concerns about that, and we've asked the reasons from the developer as to why they need that, and we have to look at whether their reasons are adequate or not. So there's a piece of this where it has to be financially okay for the developer to go forward on this.
So
what is the correct term here that I'm looking for?
Yeah, so if the developer is unhappy with the decision, let's say it's an approval with conditions. Let's say conditions to reduce the size of it, take away the access on to Copper Beach, whatever. And the developer appeals that. And they would appeal it, there's a specific body at the state that they appeal to. It's called the Housing Appeals Committee. Not particularly municipal-friendly entity, by the way. But the developer's first burden of proof, so they have the initial burden of proof to show that the conditions of approval would render the project economically unfeasible. And then there's additional standards there I won't bore you with. It can get complicated, but it's their burden to show. So if we made a change to the project, and usually this comes in and around the density issue, because that's kind of where the rubber hits the road on a lot of these 40B projects, because they are asking for more density than we would otherwise allow under our zoning bylaws. Now, density is their key to unlocking revenue. So they're saying, like, with that reduced revenue and all of the other costs that we have to bear to develop this project, we can't make a buck. That formula being kind of subject to appraisals and other evidence that we would present in what amounts to a trial. That's their burden. We would try and contest that. If they are able to prove that it does make the project uneconomic, it doesn't end there. Then we get to prove, the burden shifts to us, and we get to prove that there's a valid local issue that outweighs the benefits of the affordable housing that are being created. Those benefits, there's a presumption of benefit when you're doing affordable housing. That's what this particular law says. With regular zoning, when we say no or when we condition things, we almost always win. With 40B, it kind of flips it over because the state said in 1969 when they created Chapter 40B, that we have to flip that burden on its head. And now it's up to us to prove that there's something so important locally to justify those conditions or justify a denial that it outweighs the presumptive benefits of affordable housing. That's a difficult task. It's not impossible, but it's a difficult task. And again, this is a developer-friendly form of development. So we've done it. We've prevailed. Sometimes the fight leads to changes to projects. We do that all the time. Sometimes we win, sometimes we lose. And sometimes the fight is just worth having.
Yeah, I guess that's what I'd like to request, to have the fight. Remove the access road to Copper Beach.
Yeah, so we have asked the reasons why they will not remove it, and I don't hear from them that it's a financial reason, so I don't know.
Yeah. The removal, and I'm not trying to pre-bake any kind of deliberation on that fiscal nexus. I'm less concerned about that than I am about other things that I would have to defend.
You have to, please, stop.
I'm just saying,
Okay.
he's not concerned, it's on his backyard.
Yeah,
What is wrong with your backyard? Then you'd be-
This is our town council that's helping assist us, okay?
So,
Thank you very much.
yep.
David Kennedy, 13 Copper Beach Drive. Just making a statement, I don't have any questions. Our neighborhood's going to be ruined on Copper Beach Drive if this goes through. I'm not for this at all. I understand that, a modification might be made to accommodate the person that wants to put the development in, but I think the big thing here is that it needs to be half the size, one access, out by the train, in by the train. Thank you.
Thank you. Just for the record, is there anybody in this room that's for this?
Absolutely not.
Anybody? Okay.
Well, he's to.
Go ahead.
Paul Tanis, 6 Copper Beach. I have a couple questions while town council's here. The incompatible zones, I know they address that. They want a waiver to build residential units in an industrial commercial zone or whatever. The question I have is where the access road is coming through, that's an R40 district. By putting the access road in there, doesn't that reduce the 40,000 square feet that the R40 district's supposed to have? And aren't we kind of setting up a precedence on what could happen throughout the town if we allow this to happen?
So, no, so I'll work on those backwards. No, it's not a precedent setting because it's unique to this particular application. I will say that Chapter 40B on its face, and this is the big slight on it, if you're a fan of municipal governance and home rule, deciding things locally, which I am as a municipal attorney and an official in my own town, it always hurts to waive local bylaws, but that's what 40B allows. That's not the end of the story, however. So if a particular development is totally incompatible with the development pattern in that neighborhood, that's an important factor for us to consider.
Right. Well, that's...
And that could be, that incompatibility could take on any number of forms. Again, I just want to make sure that folks understand, though, that when towns battle against 40Bs or impose conditions that a developer may not like, it's a battle.
Right.
So all of this requires the evidence. That's why everyone here has given us a lot of great information that will help us. That's why we hire engineers. That's why staff writes reports. The town planner has written reports. That's why we go through this multi-month exercise of collecting information. So when we make a decision, again, let's call it getting rid of the access or gating off the access to Copper Beach or whatever, that we have a reason to do it.
Okay.
Or if we cut it down because we think it's too tall, we have to give a reason for that. Or if we change it because this floodplain issue, we have to give a reason for that. We have to, it's all evidence. These are like little trials every single time. So the facts are really important.
So it really doesn't matter if we have an R40 district or an R20 district?
It matters, but it doesn't matter as much as we'd like it to. I think that's the answer. I wish I could give you a more satisfying answer.
It just seems like we're setting up a precedent throughout town by doing this.
Well, it's a precedent throughout the Commonwealth. We are not
Okay.
alone. You won't find a town jumping up and down for joy because 40B developments are coming in. That doesn't exist.
Okay. And the other thing I want to address is the shooting range.
We addressed that last hearing.
Well, I know we talked about it, but I didn't really get a clear definitive answer here on, state law says 500 feet, a residence can't be there, but the reason I got is because they submitted their application before, but has somebody told the police department that they're going to have to, they can't coexist with this development and they have to move their range?
I don't have any reason to believe that they won't follow our police department won't follow the law when it comes to.
No, I understand that. All I'm saying is that when they did the study through town property to put in the shooting range, this was the only viable spot to put it, because it was within the 500 feet and the 125 feet within a highway. So basically, you're saying because of this development, they can't coexist.
I haven't drawn any conclusions on that. I haven't attended any of the meetings until now, so I'm catching up. The chairperson asked me to come tonight, in that we're kind of coming down the stretch. So I'm still catching up on those facts. It's an important thing that we'll look at.
Okay.
That's all I can say right now.
And one of the other things I wanted to bring up, if you bear with me 2 seconds here, on the traffic study, this is from Mass Housing. The applicant should be prepared to provide sufficient data to assess the proposed project's potential traffic impacts at Hilltop and Main and on other neighborhood routes and traffic patterns, and respond to reasonable requests for mitigation. Now, it seems to me by him refusing, the developer, to do a better traffic study, like not with a kid in a clicker in a car that everybody on Copper Beach witnessed, which was the first traffic study. And then the second traffic study was done at the beginning of August with no school traffic, no Cape traffic, no train traffic. It would seem to me that it's a reasonable request, according to Mass Housing, for him to do another traffic study. I mean, it's in their own paperwork.
I think that any inconsistencies in the traffic study or any concerns in and around gaps in the traffic study are likely to form the basis of some of the conditions that are likely to be imposed.
All right.
For sure. And I don't mean that as a dodgy answer.
No, I understand that.
I think it's valuable information. I think you've heard several board members express a concern about gaps in the traffic studies. So I think when we sit down with the mountain of evidence at our deliberation, I'm sure that any inconsistencies or gaps in traffic issues will help form the basis of whatever the board decides.
I'm just reminding the developer that he agreed to Mass Housing doing proper mitigation instead of refusing to do another traffic study.
There is something about those letters that I won't bother you with here today in terms of how the Housing Appeals Committee considers those letters to be important evidence. I think the important thing is the board using whatever information is available for them to make assessments. One of those assessments could potentially be lack of sufficient information supplied by the applicant.
Okay.
The applicant is within their rights to say, I'm not giving you all an extension to fill in the gaps that we have mentioned throughout the hearing. We're at the end of the road here with them. They could choose, if they wanted to keep the hearing open so we could address some of these issues that keep coming up. They've chosen not to. They make their bed with that. That might be good for them, that might be bad for them.
Okay. And most of the other stuff, I think we've already rehashed at prior meetings, so thank you.
Anything new?
Keith Anson, 1 Copper Beach Drive. First of all, I want to thank all of you for your efforts. I know you put in some lot of work and so forth. But I'd like to remind you of one thing. It was promised us, the residents of Copper Beach Drive, in layman's terms, I respect the attorney, but sometimes he's hard to follow. But we were promised 35 years ago that Copper Beach Drive would never be open again by the selectmen. There's no credibility. Copper Beach Drive should not be open. And now it's going to be open again. Now, you have the authority to decline it, and I hope you do that, because we were promised that by the selectmen back 35 years ago, before the train even came in. And I hope that you honor the word of the selectmen at that time. Thank you very much.
Britt Obuchinsky, 15 Copper Beach Drive. Just two quick, to recap. So just the fight against the road from the attorney, that was good clarification. If it's not, I just hope that we can say, because it's not doesn't financially impact the development, and we can't get a good reason as to why, except that he wants it. Everything that was mentioned about the fire department being closer at the other access, all that stuff. So I hope that all goes into consideration. And then the traffic study from 2022, when Keith had all the traffic reports, it was just the amount of accidents that have increased. I just feel like that's completely irrelevant. If we could just add that in, I feel like that's good information about the increase in the amount of traffic accidents. So that traffic study just seems kind of irrelevant now. So, okay, that's it.
Thank you. Are you speaking? Okay.
Ken Desiata, 2nd Brook Street. So nobody's mentioned 2nd Brook Street here, so I gotta. The traffic impact on 2nd Brook Street will be unbelievable if this goes through. Now, I understand you're gonna do another traffic study?
No.
No, you're not. Okay. But the impact, the impact is gonna be enormous. I'm assuming that most of the residents of this proposed project will be working people, quite a few of them. The avenues west of us, at the end of the day, the eastbound traffic will be quite a bit, like a big funnel. It'll all come in from 58 to Brook Street, 106, 27, 3A, all those roads. Eastbound traffic, eventually, a lot of people will take 2nd Brook Street, which they do now. I do it myself. I live there, but that's a shortcut. It's just going to be not a safe thing. There's no sidewalks there. There's a lot of people have mentioned the bus traffic. They just barely are able to pass, and it's my concern. It's a safety concern.
Thank you. All right, is there anybody else from the public? All right, seeing there are no other comments from the public, does the board have anything? I'll start with David before we close or make a motion to close. Marcia?
I don't have anything else.
Bob?
No. I think we've heard it all.
Okay. Paul, anything?
Yes, I do have something. I would like to ask Cushman Farms if they would like to do a waiver again, since I feel one of the main problems here is that floodplain issue. That is a very big deal for their project, as it goes right through the middle of one of their buildings. And being that, we could probably give a denial just from the fact that they don't have a proper piece of paperwork from FEMA stating that this project is even viable. I don't know if that's something that they want to entertain or leave it in our court to use. If not, then I understand that they would want to close the hearing and we can go that route also.
Okay. I can ask them to respond.
Or I'm just a little confused on this issue. I thought our own town conservation officer weighed in on this, right? When this project was first conceived.
We have no
And as
paperwork of it.
it's gone on, I haven't heard him raise this issue. So as you say, might be just a reason to deny it. So I'm just a little confused.
I don't have the prior plans in front of me. Was this on the prior plan?
So this has been on all the plans since
Okay.
the first submission. Additionally, the FEMA floodplain, if we could not remove it with a letter of map revision, then it would be under the jurisdiction of your Concom, and it would be, basically, we would not be able to build without their approval on that.
So is there, I think I asked this to you, but I don't know, I don't remember the answer. Is there a reason why you haven't requested that?
We were just going through all of the deliberations with the town. We just haven't
So,
requested yet.
can I ask you a question on that? Because I'm a little confused. So this is a 100-year floodplain that's
Correct.
mapped. So there's no new construction in 100-year floodplains.
Correct.
So that's not a local wetland bylaw issue.
It is in Kingston.
It is, but it's also under federal floodplain guidance. There's no new construction in
You can
floodplains.
technically construct in a 100-year floodplain. You just have to provide compensatory storage for it.
So you'd have to change the project.
Wait a minute, I thought the
It depends what the, sorry, I don't want to interrupt.
No.
Did our-
No,
you-
please
can you-
answer, please answer.
It was okay.
Wait, Marcia.
Theoretically,
The-
we do provide compensatory storage. The 100-year floodplain is stored within our infiltration systems for that area. Regardless, we're still going to have the floodplain removed because that's typically not where you put a 100-year floodplain.
No, I'm not debating with you whether or not FEMA's going to change it or it's a good argument or a bad argument. Right now, your design right now is as if this floodplain doesn't exist or will be changed.
Right.
So the plans right now, where is, as is, can't be constructed as is right now.
It would depend on the Conservation Commission. We
Well,
technically do
So in
provide
other words, you
compensatory
need paperwork in order for this to move forward.
So if I may interject, Tanya Trevison here. I just want to be clear that we're not required to apply to the Conservation Commission in tandem with the Zoning Board of Appeals under this 40B project. We can proceed to request the comprehensive permit from the Zoning Board and then go to the Conservation Commission. We're not looking for a waiver. This isn't a local waiver.
Yeah, but Tanya, that's not the question. That's not the issue. Plus, if there's more local protection of the floodplain, then it does happen here. The question is, and I'm not saying how the board's going to react to it. It's just right now, the plan that you have would have to be changed if you don't get that map change. Whether it's approvable or not, I'm not saying that, I'm not giving a value judgment to it. But right now, your plans are presuming that that flood plain will change, that map will be changed. And maybe it will, but right now it's not.
Right now, it's not correct.
Right. Okay, that's it. So we're working under your assumption and your presentation that your confidence that the map is going to change.
Correct.
I just, if you were so confident this has been before us for years, why didn't you get the letter? I don't.
It's because you're not required to get the letter?
We're not required to.
Well, yeah, you are required.
Yeah, you absolutely have to get the letter.
We have a legal dispute here. The
No.
developer's a lawyer says they are not, that 40B.
We're not required to get the letter in tandem with the review of the Zoning Board of Appeal. It's a separate review.
No, I know it's a separate review, Tanya, but you're presenting a project that's right now not technically possible.
Well, I disagree, but.
Well, you can disagree all you want right now, and maybe you could modify the project right now to be able to design 100% of what you're doing through accommodating this floodplain as it exists right now. And the board would act on it accordingly. But the board is being asked to make a decision based upon an event that hasn't happened yet. And that's fine. That's your prerogative to propose that. But that's what you're asking us to do. And so that's asking the board to take that leap of faith. And maybe the board does. But at the very least, the board is, the very first condition is going to be, nothing happens here until that map change. At the worst, it's going to be, you're presenting a plan that's not possible, and here's the ramifications of it. Whether that's a denial or removal of everything that's within the floodplain, I don't know. I haven't chewed on any of this, but that's why Paul Dolan is saying, like, maybe you want to take care of this or think it through a little bit more before we close. Your call. I'm not, I mean, you and I have known each other for a while. That's your call. Yeah.
Maybe also, and this might be a question that you don't want to answer or cannot answer at this stage, but how would the housing court deal with something like this? If it's appealed, if we deny it and it's appealed, they can't.
I think it's a pretty big issue.
Okay, all right, thank you.
I think we lose.
Did you want to address that? Just real quick. I think Paul's question was a pretty good one that I was going to actually ask if you wanted to extend the waiver.
So again, I think we all, Rick Lincoln, applicant, we all know that, or we're hoping the board can just condition it. We can change the project. You wouldn't like, the 4-story building would go where the 3-story building went that I removed to try and create more buffer. So we have the land and the area to move the building. But we kind of wanted to get through this process first before the FEMA application is fairly comprehensive, and we've just held off because we kind of wanted to get this thing approved with a condition. So just some context.
So you're saying that we will not like your alternative to this?
Correct.
Okay. Yeah.
So I guess that question is still there. Do they want to give us another waiver and continue, or do they still just want to keep it as a condition? Because this is putting the cart before the horse.
I think the intention here is to go forward with what we have offered at this point.
All right. Paul, anything else?
No. I think the public is feeling the same way I think the board is feeling. We have a lot of issues that are with this 40B, not only density, traffic, the effects on our schools, which I know they feel we don't have to take into account, but it's definitely something we need to take into account. The height of the buildings, I know they said that we did the same height of the buildings up at the mall, but that's up at the mall. That's in a highly dense commercial zone. This is the residential area. This is not apples to apples by any means. So I think the public did a good job of putting out their feelings about this 40B, and I think we have to use what they have, but also try to wrangle what we know the courts can do with these 40Bs if we just say no. And then we're still dealing with other 40Bs at 5 years now. And they've been remanded back to us a couple times, as Mr. Talman knows. So I'm with the board. I'm watching you guys right now on Zoom. So if they feel like they want us to close the hearing, so be it.
All right. Anybody else? Can I get a motion to close the hearing? What that means is we are not able to take any more evidence or anything.
I get a motion to close the hearing.
It's not a vote that we're accepting or denying it. It's just the closing of the hearing.
Yeah, we're not voting on this tonight. Bob, I think, did a motion to close the hearing. Any second?
I second it.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, so the hearing is
Aye,
closed.
Paul Dolan.
Thank you. The hearing is closed.
We get a date on the calendar
Yeah, so
to come back and start chewing on this a little bit in maybe 2-3 weeks.
it's going to be very hard for my schedule, but yes.
I'd like to do.
I mean, we don't have to decide it tonight. I just
No, I
know
know.
that we have.
No,
I'd
I
like to
can.
talk about that in private, about that.
That's fine.
We don't have to
We don't have to schedule it tonight. I'm just saying, let's not lose track.
No, I know.
Because it's likely it's going to take, given the issues here, 2 nights. So within 40 days, we're going to need a couple.
And there's no extension.
Unless we ask and Rick gives us an extension of the 40.
Okay.
So
But we're not going to do anything more this evening.
it does not appear so.
Okay, I just.
No, we're not.
Okay.
So the next meeting won't be a public hearing, but the public will be allowed to attend. And then on the 40th day, or sometime before then, there'll be a written decision out.
So I think that we should stay back and get some dates from everybody. Paul, if you want to call in with your availability. I guess, can I get a motion to adjourn? Yes.
I get a motion. I propose a,
Oh,
No, I mean, you've already closed the hearing, so you haven't adjourned the meeting yet.
yeah. Do we need to talk about our meeting date on?
You don't have to, because scheduling can happen outside of a meeting.
Thank you.
propose to close the meeting tonight.
Adjourn.
Adjourn.
A motion to adjourn was from Bob. Can I get a second, please?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, thank you.